Okay, so that wax is cooled down now. It's pretty hard, you can see. Just, basically what I use to remove wax, especially if it's colored wax. If it's not colored wax, you can go straight to this the damp towel demonstration I'm going to do later. But if you're going to remove colored wax, get started with a piece of card stock. This is just a little door hanger somebody left on my door. We're going to not buy what they're trying to sell, but we're going to use it to remove some wax. You take this and you take an iron, set it basically the hottest temperature, and just very carefully, and keep your eyes on it, you're going to heat up this piece of paper. And what it's going to do is, you see how it's pulling wax into it? That's exactly what's going on. It's absorbing the wax and creating wax paper. And it will, if you work on it long enough, it'll take it out. Kind of keep moving it around and letting it absorb in different spots on the piece of paper. See how it's getting smaller and lighter? Some spots it's disappearing all the way. Yeah. Steam the smaller spot of it, smaller part of it. You're going to want to kind of drag it, and it'll kind of pull it as you drag it. And also it's going to lay in one direction, so you want to move it around a little bit so it gets all the sides of the fibers. See how it's absorbing into the paper? It's almost gone now. And just so you know, if you're living on a carpet that's already been cleaned a bunch of times, it's more likely that the dye is going to want to stick. That's not a problem. We've always got the worst case scenario of a small patch, and basically it's what's done there is give us a call for about 25 or 30 bucks. We'll just relocate a new piece of carpet in that area, and we'll just do 4 seams around it, and you won't even be able to tell. If it's done right, you can't even see a patch. So if you do end up, you'll always be able to get the wax out. Just sometimes the dye isn't going to come out all the way. That's why I recommend at the beginning of this video to do white candles or cream colored candles, because the lighter the color, the more likely to just get the wax out and not have any issues later on. When you're a carpet cleaner, you know what can happen, and you just don't buy the stuff that's going to really mess things up. But I mean, that's totally up to you. As you can see, this green is probably going to come 99% out if I just give it enough time. And like I said, I'm never leaving it unattended. Trying to get as much of it out. And then what I did is I took about 4 paper towels here and wet them. And you're going to use that to steam and just very lightly scrub, and hopefully it'll help to remove it around the entire fiber. We're having trouble getting some penetration here, and that's what I'm going to use the wet towel for. Okay. So let's go ahead and steam it. I'm just going to kind of drag the towel across it like that so it'll pull it off. It gets lighter and lighter every time I do it until it comes all the way out. Or at least it'll be just a tiny hazy green area and not a big noticeable wax spot on your carpet. So and it's always worth a try if you have a green stain. Sometimes the dye in candle wax will be an organic dye, and you can try to use a little bit of hydrogen peroxide on it. It does tend to work well on green and blue stains. Don't ask me why. It also works on yellow stains, but it doesn't work on red. Okay. It's almost out. See, we got one little spot that's not wanting to come all the way out. Gonna get down and put some pressure on it. Careful about the steam. You don't want to burn yourself. I'm kind of used to it, but I guess I should be careful to warn you about that. Okay, we're rubbing it out now. Kind of just pull it back. We're almost, I mean, you can't even really see it on the screen anymore, but I can still see it a little bit. Just a little bit of work, but it's really, as long as you know what you're doing, it's not very difficult at all. One of the benefits of wax too is that it dries a little whiter. Even if there's a little bit left over, you won't be able to feel it, but it'll have a little white haze to it. And on a cream colored carpet, when this dries, this is going to actually be less green here. So basically, there you go, a wax stain removal.